Hello, folks. Welcome to Scratch the Surface. My name's EJ Scott. Today, my guest is Simone Missick from Luke Cage. She plays Misty Knight. And I'll talk about what we talked about in just a second. But first, I want to give myself a plug. Check me out on Twitter at EJ Scott, the podcast at EJ Podcast, my website, ejscott.com, Instagram, EJScott1106. I'm raising money for charity. Go to crowdrise.com/7on7 to see a great list of charities to donate to that need your help. Also, check out my documentary, Running Blind, about me running 12 marathons in 12 states in 12 months. Blindfolded in 2012. Why would I do such a thing? Well, I have an eye disease called choroideremia that runs through my family. And I'm always trying to look for ways to raise awareness and money for it. And I was able to get a documentary made about what I did in 2012. So for $2 or $3, you could rent it or buy it on Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play. And it'll be well worth your time and money if you check that out. Thank you very much. Okay. Simone Missick plays Misty Knight on Luke Cage, a great show that you can see on Netflix if you haven't already. We talked somewhat about Luke Cage, so if you're worried about spoilers, there might be one or two in this show about Luke Cage. So just a heads up, okay? So spoiler alert. But mostly we talk about Simone's upbringing and her family, and in Michigan, and her traveling around and becoming an actress, and living in London for a little while and studying with Alan Rickman and Ben Kingsley, and how she met her husband, who was also an actor. And we talk about her barking dog and that she has to travel with him everywhere she goes. We talk about how she got the stomach flu just a couple of days before our interview, and how horrible that is. We talk about the play that she's doing here in LA, and theater. We talk about a lot of theater stuff. We talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about love scenes in Luke Cage. We talk how she got the audition, how she auditioned for that, and how she got the role. Just lots of stuff. We talk about a whole lot of stuff. We had a lot of good laughs. It was a real pleasure to talk with her. I love the show. I love Luke Cage, and I think she's great on it. So from April 25th, 2017, enjoy my talk with Simone Missick. Hi, Simone.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
You okay? Yeah, you said you weren't feeling 100.
A little stomach flu virus bug, something or other.
When did you get that?
That was 2 days ago. It started 2 days ago. Ate some oysters 3 days ago.
Oh, no.
And then it snuck up on me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But I had, there's
this real recent, too.
This great app called Heal, where you can pay for a doctor to come to your house for $99.
Okay.
And in this day and age, going to like the emergency room or urgent care and paying the copay, I'd rather just ask somebody to come to my living room.
That's clever. Okay, then that worked out. It's not like some skeevy guy or anything.
No, and I've used it before, and it's a licensed, very normal health professional. Always a young guy. Okay. Like a young, good-looking guy.
He's on an app.
Right. So
maybe I've been telling
my girlfriend, like, hey, you should probably just get this app, Emily.
I wonder if people do that.
They should.
They're like, I'm single. I would love a doctor.
Right. Let me just use this Heal app. That's hilarious.
Right?
That's very smart.
You got your husband. I just met him.
Yes.
He's a handsome fella.
Dorian.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
How'd you guys meet?
We met in an audition in L.A.
Not for the same part.
No, okay. Thank goodness. They weren't gender switching. No, he was helping a friend to cast a web series.
Okay.
And he was in the room, and I came in to audition, and I saw him, and he saw me. But I was auditioning, so that was that.
Okay.
And then his friend reached out to me and invited me to a party, and I thought, that's really unprofessional if I got the job.
Right.
And then I found out I didn't, so I went to the party, and we danced the whole night, and then the next day was Valentine's Day. That was our first date.
Wow.
We were engaged 9 months later and married 2 years later.
Whoa. Oh, 2 years after the engagement.
2 years after the meeting.
Oh,
so,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quick. That's kind of quick.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years after you meet is not too quick.
But it's not too long.
Not too long either.
No, we did not waste any time.
Yeah, why not? Why didn't you waste time?
When you know. That's something that we've always kind of said with our relationship. We have both dated for years, and it was something different. And I'm the happiest person that I have ever been. So I'm glad we didn't wait. It was literally a no-brainer. It was like, oh, you want to marry me? Yeah, I will marry you.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's have some oysters.
Yeah.
Get married.
And get sick together because he got sick too. So we shared.
Where'd you have this?
Okay, so.
Yeah.
I said, do you want to go get some oysters? And he said, sure. I said, let's go to the Water Grill. Nice fancy restaurant downtown LA.
Sorry, Water Grill.
No. Wait, don't shame the Water Grill because he said, I don't want to dress up.
Oh.
Let's go to the Grand Central Market. So there's an oyster bar.
Wait, there's an app. We could order some oysters.
Right. And they'll deliver it right to your table in the middle of a market.
Oh, no.
So we went to the Grand Central Market and they have a little kiosk. And
a kiosk?
Well, it's a bar. It is a bar.
Okay.
And then there are tables. But this is I don't even know if I should say this because this will be out there forever.
Whatever you want to say.
So after we ate our last oyster.
Yeah.
There was like a parasite squirming in the salt. And I said, no.
Oh.
And he said, I don't know. And I said, oh my God, should we say something? He's like, we just ate the last one. I mean, what are you going to say?
You could say, don't serve these to anybody else. And I don't want to pay for these.
Well,
and you have to give me $99 for my app doctor.
I'm saying it. Don't serve those. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah. And at the time we were like, you feel okay? I mean, I'm disgusted by the thought of it, but I'm okay. And then 2 days later, sick as a dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you get to say, I told you so? If we went to the nice place, you just put on some nice pants.
Kind of. Yeah. When the doctor was there, he's like, so where'd you get them? And I said, well, I wanted to go to the Water Grill with Mr. No Pants in the summertime. Wanted to go to Grand Central Market. So,
it's time for a negative Yelp review for those people, right?
It is.
Maybe.
It really is.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had stomach food poisoning.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that. But
lucky.
Last year in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, I had a virus that went around the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
And it was, I'd say 40, maybe 60 hours of the most disgusting things I've ever done in my life.
Did you go for the World Cup?
No, I went to run a marathon there.
Yeah.
And I did not run it because I was so sick.
Gosh!
Yeah.
Are you serious?
They ran, day of the marathon, they ran right in front of my window.
And you're just like, watching them go.
I can't even. Yeah, my friend who's run marathons with me said, oh, you're sick, you should just walk it. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
No.
I wouldn't even make it from Porta John to Porta John. I wouldn't even make it.
Goodness.
Yeah.
And it was just going around the hotel.
It was going around the hotel, and I was with a marathon group. So we all met on, let's say, Thursday night at like a thing, and there was a talk, and there were hors d'oeuvres and drinks and meeting and talking and all this stuff. And later that night, I woke up in the middle of the night, puking and shitting my brains out.
Oh my God. And you know, I will not say that is like my main fear about going to Brazil, but it's one of my main fears about going to Brazil.
Yeah. And
because I mean, like during the Olympics, they were like, yeah, we've got this thing swimming around in the water, so all the Olympic athletes are kind of in trouble. And then we got this lovely thing called the Zika virus just floating around. And now you're telling me that there's just like
they call it norovirus, which
right.
the doctor explained usually goes around cruise ships.
Yeah.
So this was going around the hotel. And so like a bunch of people like myself in the marathon group didn't run.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't run.
And it could happen anywhere. It really could.
Anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere, anytime.
Except a really nice restaurant, maybe.
Perhaps. But that is no shade on Brazil. I love Brazil. I want to visit someday soon.
Rio was, I mean, the little I saw of it was okay. I went to this great place called Iguazu Falls, or I might be saying it wrong, but it's a couple-hour flight from Brazil. Right after I started feeling better, thank God, I had chosen this extension on the trip to go to this giant waterfall.
Nice.
And it was gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
And it borders 3 countries: Brazil, Argentina, and one other one I forget. But I don't know. Do you know?
Couldn't tell you. I would be wrong.
If you got it, I'd be impressed.
No, I was going to say Uruguay, but
sure, it's Uruguay.
Sure.
But like one of the best experiences of my life was going there. So if you ever get to go, I would check that out.
Iguazu Falls.
Iguazu Falls. It's really stunning.
Check it out.
Really stunning.
Yeah.
So how you're in LA visiting?
In LA working.
Where are you working? Where are you working on?
Yeah, I'm doing a play down at the Kirk Douglas Theater.
Wait a second.
Yes.
What play are you doing?
It's called Citizen and American Lyric. And this is going on, opens this Friday.
Oh, it's not even open yet.
No. Opens this Friday. It's a nice short run.
Yeah, because you're only here a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, so we are from the 28th until May 7th. And it's
like
literally a week. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which is awesome. It's a play that I've done before. I did it 2 years before. And what's the lovely, interesting, divine orchestration by God is that this was the play that I was doing before I booked Luke Cage. And now I'm doing it before, hopefully, we go back to season 2.
Season 2. I just saw Cheo. Is it Cheo?
Cheo. Yeah.
Cheo. I just met him for the first time
a
couple nights ago at the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 premiere.
Yeah.
And what a good dude.
He is such a great guy.
And he's going to come on here one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
But he sounds pretty busy.
Just a little bit.
Because he lives in Seattle.
Oh, my goodness.
But he's spending 5 days a week here in LA writing the show.
You want to talk about an awesome husband. So he was here in LA living for years. Yeah. And his wife is amazing and takes care of their beautiful children. And she got this great job offer in Seattle. And instead of being the husband that you think most husbands would be, would you say like, no, my job, I'm here in LA. He's like, I'll just fly back and forth. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
He's
crazy.
Great. He's great. They're a great couple too.
And you've known him for a while, I assume.
No.
Oh, yeah?
Really. I've known Cheo since we started working.
Oh, really? Because wasn't Dorian on Southland?
So Dorian was on Southland, but I think Cheo and I met once at a dinner party.
Okay.
And another time outside of his home in Studio City, the pilot season before I booked Luke Cage. And when I say met, it's like, hey, how you doing? All right, Dorian, let me keep talking to you about what I'm talking to you about. You know what I mean? Right. There was no, so I'm an actor and blah, blah, blah. It was just, you're Dorian's wife and I'm saying hello. So he and I really didn't meet until I went into the room for the audition.
No kidding. Wow, what a small world.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Because Southland was a couple years?
Yeah, it was
2-3 seasons?
I think 4 years. The first season was on NBC and then they went over to TNT for I think another 3.
And Cheo ran that show the whole time?
No, he was a writer.
Oh, he's a writer. I thought he was a showrunner on it.
And then interestingly enough, Cheo went over to Ray Donovan, where I did an episode.
Oh, yeah.
But we weren't. It wasn't the same episode, so we didn't meet then.
I love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I love that show.
It's a great show.
That's so funny that you.
Yeah.
It's
like
so funny.
Passing ships.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's really good friends with my husband and my husband's best friend, who was on season 2 of
Daredevil.
Ray Donovan. Playing a character named Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Omar Dorsey. And so he and Omar are really good friends. And Omar was in my wedding. Like, it's all in the same.
All
but
connected.
No, yeah, but we didn't. So it's a good thing I like him.
No kidding.
Because we're all stuck together.
I saw a play with, I'm blanking on his name now, Ray Donovan.
Oh, Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber, thank you. And he was in Glengarry Glen Ross and Broadway. I don't know, it might be 10 years now.
Wow.
Long time ago. Alan Alda's in it. Wow. Jeffrey Tambor. A great cast.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And I'm like 3rd, 4th row center, something like that. Great seats. And Liev Schreiber has a big monologue where he's like cursing and yelling and all this stuff, and then he stops his monologue and it's silent, and this old man in the first row on the side says, "Watch your mouth, you jerk." Jeffrey Tambor is in between the old man and Liev, and I mean like maybe 4 feet from Jeffrey Tambor's head. I mean, I couldn't even believe, and I look over and he's with his wife, I'm assuming, and he's like, "No, I won't shut up," like that. And I'm like, "What are you doing? Do you not know where you are?"
There are some special people who go to the theater. I went to go see that. Yeah, I went to, not personally. I mean, I can't say not personally. I've had experiences where people, talk back, which
they answer you.
That's a little much. Sometimes you welcome it. Most times you don't.
Yeah.
But I went to go and see The Color Purple in October, and there was this older guy. Excuse me, and he was in it. Like, you couldn't tell him he was not in the play. He was singing along.
Oh, boy.
He was yelling out and
dancing, getting up and dancing.
There was like when we figured out that it was all coming from the same person, I think everyone thought, "Oh, maybe he's like a
special."
Yeah,
he's a little touched.
Maybe, right? You look up at the end, and he's just a regular old man, just talking his mouth off. And so at the end, Cynthia Erivo, who's the star of the show, does like an encore. And she like addresses the old man, and everybody in the audience just goes crazy because they're like, "Oh my God, because we've been hearing him. You've been hearing him too." And she's obviously like, "Well, I'm a professional." Yeah. And she's singing, but it was funny.
That's so hard.
It is, though, because it ruins.
It ruins it. They're $200 tickets or whatever. You want to pull a Patty LuPone and just go, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Or get the hell out.
Right.
If you get
they never kick people out.
No, they never.
No, they don't.
They really should.
They really should.
Something
It has to be done.
I go to. I'm really sensitive about that stuff, right? Like when I go to the movies or something. Now there's an Alamo Draft House. Have you heard of that?
No.
It started in Austin, but they're really spreading out now. There's one coming to LA. There's one in Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
And their whole thing is quiet. And we will throw you out. They make a point of saying it. We will throw you out if you're on your phone or if you're talking or if you're being whatever. You're gone.
I love that.
You're gone. Me too. It's my favorite.
There was a play that was here in LA. It just closed, called I'm not going to remember the name of it.
Oh my God, I thought that was the name of it. I was like,
no,
what an interesting.
Dang it. I know. This is a play called what is it called? I've forgotten. But the play was all done where each audience member has their own headset.
Okay.
And the sound design is a part of the play. It's a one-man show. So you don't hear anyone else in the audience. And it eliminates the collectiveness of the theater in that way, but it also ensures that you only hear what you're supposed to hear.
Right.
You don't hear grandma opening up her, wrapper to get out her
get some
peppermint.
Gum.
Yeah.
Candy.
Or the person like me who's coughing over in the
right.
You don't hear that through the whole show. So I didn't get a chance to see it. It's going next to San Francisco, I think, but dang it, I do not. It's called forget the name of it.
Well, I want to make a point to see your play. I want to go see it.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to make a
got a
try
week.
very hard.
Yeah.
I know. I got a short amount of time.
Yep.
How long do you rehearse for a week-long play?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, normally you rehearse for about 3 weeks and then you run for about 4.5 to 5 weeks. So
yeah. Or years.
We've done this. Right, exactly. But we did this play before for, I don't know. I think it was 2 months.
Okay.
Maybe. So
same cast and everything? More or less?
Except for one character.
Okay.
So there's a woman named Tina Lifford, awesome actress. And she's the lead on this show called Queen Sugar on OWN. Oh, yeah. And she booked it.
Rutina Wesley's on it.
Yeah. Yep. And so she booked it right when I booked Luke Cage. And so we both left the show and they replaced us with 2 other actors. And now that we're back on, Tina was the only person who couldn't come back because they're shooting Queen Sugar. So
that's too bad. Well, it's a good excuse to have, right?
Absolutely. Nobody's mad at her.
And where are you from originally?
Detroit, Michigan.
That's right, you're from Detroit. Yeah. And how was it growing up in Detroit? I just talked to some. I just did a podcast a little while ago today, and one of the ladies was from Detroit as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Best experience I've ever had. Obviously, it was the only childhood I had, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yeah. It was great. I had a great neighborhood, great schools, great teachers and experiences. I didn't feel like I ever missed out on anything or
that's nice.
Didn't get a chance to try or see or do anything.
That's like the opposite of my childhood. I would have said everything.
Where did you grow up?
Long Island, New York. It was terrible. I hated it.
What?
I wish I could have got out of there sooner. I hate going back. I hate visiting.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
You do not have a Long Island accent.
Thank you. That's the best. I get that all the time, and that's the best compliment.
Oh,
and when I hear the Long Island accent, I go, oh. I can't. It brings up so many horrible memories.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's terrible.
What happened in Long Island?
It's now as an adult. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I was bullied or whatever, and I wasn't, I was struggling.
Well, that's a big thing.
Yeah, and I was very different than my family. I still am, and so but now as an adult, I look back on it and I'm like, okay, that's more of a conservative place with conservative views and things like that. And I from early on, I was not really like that.
Wow.
And the older I get, the more or less like that I become. You know what I mean? So going back is like, fuck, I don't know. Even like just visiting, I go in the cab from the train station, and I'm like, I hate the cab.
Oh,
what an asshole! He's such an asshole.
That's so horrible.
Yeah, it's rough.
I'm sorry.
Rough. Thank you. Thank you.
Is all your family still there?
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah. My sister, brother, parents, my nephews. Yeah, they're all there. So I gotta go back sometimes.
Yep. Once a year?
Once or twice. Even when I was we were just living in Brooklyn for half a year, and I went maybe twice.
That's enough, though.
It's enough.
If you hate it.
Hate it. But I love my nephews to death.
Oh, just tell them to come on down to Brooklyn.
Well,
just stick them in an Uber.
I know. They're 12 and 8.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to bring them out here to LA and get away from all the Trump voters.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I mean? I feel bad.
Oh, we gotta shake that all off. I feel sorry for him, too.
You're going to get that virus all over again.
Right. That's a weird one. It's going around.
The Trump virus.
The Trump virus.
Do you have any people in your family that might have voted? Because Michigan, didn't he win Michigan?
He
won Michigan.
No. Although, interesting, I had a friend a couple years ago who voted for George Bush the second time. And I was like...
The second time's the time you go, what, really?
And I was like, wait, really?
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. And her reasons were religious.
Okay. Yeah.
She was very pro-life.
Yeah.
I am pro-choice, but everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
But
I'm pro-choice too.
She was, adamant. Like, well, this is really important. And I was thinking, but what about the other millions of things that this guy has on his toll? You're pro-life, but as long as we kill those people over in Iraq, no big deal.
That's clearly a deal breaker, right?
I would think,
because people voted for Trump, and I'm like, they have stuff like that because of pro-life or whatever. I'm like, what about the other stuff?
Yeah,
that's the deal breaker. Is that one thing?
Yeah, I just think that everybody has but she was the person that I was just like, really? Young black woman from the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, had kids, married, a teacher, educator. It threw me for a loop. I was like, wait, no, really? Who are you voting for? She's like,
good one.
No. And so I will say nothing surprises me, but I don't think any of my family voted for Trump.
You're so lucky. Can I hang out with your
family? Why? You're in a family full of winners. They won.
That's
Right?
true. They quote unquote won, I guess.
Those,
quote unquote.
those quotes. Yeah.
You have siblings?
Yes. I've got a brother and a sister.
Older, younger?
Both older.
Both. Okay, so you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
How was it growing up with them? Did y'all get along?
We did. You know, they're both older than me, and they used to play horrible tricks on me because I was super protective of my sister. And so they would play fight to make me cry, which is really horrible. My sister would be like, help! Help!
That's so mean.
I just run out, leave her alone!
That's like traumatizing.
Stop! Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then my brother our bonding was he would play this game where he would play airplane. He'd stick me on his feet.
Okay. Oh, one of those. Okay.
Throw me up in the air. And then,
And then
one time he threw me into the wall. I was like, shh.
Threw you out a window.
Don't cry. So I had some really great, memories with those two. But they were great. They are I love my siblings, and they would do anything for me, and I'd do anything for them. Like, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must be so proud of you.
They are.
Right?
They really are.
What do they do?
My brother works for...
He's an airline pilot.
Right. He's actually a lead organizer for a nursing union here.
Okay. Oh, in L.A.?
In L.A., yeah. He just switched jobs. He was with a really big union for over 15 years and just got a promotion and a new lease on life.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
he's here working for the nurses union in
married
California.
Kids. He's got married.
Got a kid.
Got a kid. Right on.
2 kids.
2 kids.
Raising 1 kid. Single dad.
He's got 2 kids, raising one of them.
Mm-hmm. My other nephew is grown and
grown.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and then my sister works for a telecommunications company.
Okay. Where?
And in Detroit, so she's still back in Michigan. Yeah. And yeah, they're great. And she's got 2 kids, my niece and my nephew. My niece just turned 5 this week. She's coming up on her 5th birthday. And my nephew just turned 9. And he just had his first kiss.
What? At 9?
What? I know. At 8, technically.
Oh my God, that's early.
And we were like, who's this? What happened?
Is it a teacher?
Thank God, no. Although he's big enough, he's so tall.
Really? How'd that happen?
It was my brother, my mom, and I, and he's like, if I tell you guys something, will you be mad? I'm like, no. What is it? I had my first kiss, and I'm like, oh no. No.
You're too young, dude.
Where? He's like, on the cheek. Oh.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That scared me.
That was that moment too. I was like, oh, okay. Now you be safe though.
We were both naked.
Yeah.
That's scary though.
Yeah.
You don't have kids, right?
No.
No. Why are you saying it like that? Like you don't want kids?
I do want kids.
Yeah.
We have a dog.
That's good.
And he is all the kid I need right now.
Yeah.
He keeps me up at night. He always has to be fed and walked and loved.
Yeah.
He's great.
Annoying.
He's great. He's the best little dog ever. We just got him a year ago.
His name's George?
Charlie.
Charlie, sorry.
Yeah.
I was around. Charlie. I was kind of
close.
close.
No, you were in the
This guy, I just met him too. He's real cute.
Yeah, he's a barker. He's really protective. Yeah. So if there's anything going on, he will let you know.
Oh, well, you were going to come do my podcast in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And you're like, can I bring my dog?
Yeah. He does not like to be alone. It's so,
Well, I didn't understand. I was like, she's bringing her dog. I was like, does she live? Where does she live? Maybe she comes from out of town or something. Where do you live in New York?
No, we live in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I was like
being alone.
we just bring the dog everywhere. And it's not until now that, people are like, yeah, that's not really... you can leave him at home, right? We're like, no, we can't.
Oh, wow.
The part of it is, though, this is the issue. Because we're constantly coming back and forth. And being in LA and doing Airbnbs and being in New York and being in our apartment. When we're in New York, he's fine. But if one of us isn't there, like if the other one is traveling, we're like, oh, God, how long are we going to leave him in the house by himself?
And when you're gone, he just barks and bothers neighbors and stuff like that?
That is what we have heard, but we have no evidence to confirm or deny
okay.
what happened.
I had a neighbor close. They were all
Yeah.
pretty close in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they would go out and they
Mhm.
would leave the dogs in the backyard. Like literally 8 hours of barking. 8 hours of barking. So I had to complain about it.
Yeah.
And I even got evidence of it.
Oh my gosh.
And even I had to go to like a dog pound to get like moderated with the owners of the house of the dogs. And so there was like this thing, like this sit down thing.
Are you serious?
And they still denied it.
You're like, I have the recording.
I was like, guys,
That's not.
I have hours.
That's not bingo.
That's not bingo.
That's not bingo.
I mean, it sounds a little like bingo.
A little, but that could be anybody's dog.
So thankfully, one of them was open enough to say, I'll do something about it. We'll stop leaving them alone in the back. And it has been a completely different living experience.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God.
That they were at least somewhat reasonable.
One of them was.
Yeah.
The other guy was like, the two guys, right? So
Yeah.
one guy was like looking at me like, fuck you, that's my baby.
Oh my God.
And the other guy was like, all right, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And thank God he did that.
So we don't want to be those people.
Yeah. Nobody does, I don't think.
And the thing was, this is what we did. Our neighbor who lives upstairs are these two girls, and they wrote us this really nice note. They were like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Here's our number if you guys ever need anything. Oh, and by the way, sometimes Charlie barks a lot.
Yeah.
And we were both like,
Uh-oh.
because we had never heard that.
Yeah.
And we had just moved in.
And that's what those guys said. They were like, nobody's ever said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'll just tell you.
Yeah. So we got him a collar, a bark collar.
Yeah, my friend does that with his dog.
Oh my God. So I'm out of town. Dorian gets the bark collar in the mail. He puts it on Charlie. He goes to leave the house. You hear a bark and then the most piercing cry. I was like, I'm on the phone like, take that off my baby. He's like, wait a second. And you hear, oh, ah! And it just goes on for like 2 minutes. And Dorian's like, wait. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Wait. Go back in there and take that damn collar off the dog. And so he's like, stop yelling at me. Like we're arguing on the phone.
Right.
He runs back in.
There's different ones you can
Takes
get,
it
right?
off.
Like different settings and things.
Once that happened.
That was it.
That was it. So we leave the collar by the door. And so whenever he barks near the door, it'll sound off and he'll go.
He's already kind of.
He's like, wait a minute. I remember that.
Oh,
Let me be quiet.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, I love him.
Is he a rescue?
He's a rescue.
How old is he?
Yeah, he's
Do you know?
3.
He's 3. So
Yeah, so
for
now
2
he should be
years,
4.
2 years, you don't know what happened to him in 2 years.
Well, for 3 years. So now he should be 4 because
I know
I'm
he should be.
realizing we're coming up on a year. So for the first 3 years, we have no idea. But he's housebroken. He
Okay.
doesn't beg for food. He doesn't tear up or chew up anything. He's non-aggressive, like biting wise with people.
Yeah.
Or
It's just the barking.
yes, the barking. There was a little bit of time where he was really overprotective of me with Dorian. And so Dorian, he's a tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come over and kiss me, and Charlie would like just on it. And we thought, oh, this is so adorable.
Right.
And we started making up this story about him, like, oh, I bet the couple that he was with before, the woman got pregnant, and he was like, never again. We're gonna keep them apart. And it went on for a couple months, and we were like, oh, it's so cute. Look at him. He gets so upset. And then one time he tried to bite Dorian.
Oh.
And we were like, oh no, this is a habit that has to be broken. This isn't a joke. This is a real trauma on his part. So it literally took 30 minutes. We got treats. We made him sit across the room, and then he would kiss me. This was a great training time for me because I kept getting kisses.
Yeah.
He kept coming over. And when he would come, we would tell him no, make him go sit back down. And then we would kiss, and he wouldn't bark. We would give him a treat. And we did it for like 30 minutes and let him know that everything was fine and everything was safe. He never did it again.
Oh, that's
But
great.
then our cousins came to town and were visiting, and the husband did the same thing. He leaned over his wife and kissed her. And Charlie was like, "Rah!" And we were like, wait a minute, dude. You can't do that for every woman. Like, you have to be particular about mom. But that was the only time that he's done it. since then.
So you've trained, you had training for him and stuff.
Yeah, we definitely did. You know, when we first got him, we were like, well, we don't know what level of training he's had in the rescue. They're like, he's trained, but they always write like a disclaimer, but we have no idea what this training could be or is. Right. So we took him to a woman here, and she kept him for like a week when we first got him. She was like, Charlie's awesome. Like, he's good with not going to the bathroom in the house, and he's great with this and that and that and this. And we were like, okay, cool. The only thing that she and anyone else has said is his leashing and his bark. It's like on the leash, he wants to
tug.
Yeah, and not really tug. He's a sniffer.
Yeah.
So like once he gets a scent, he's on it, and he's stubborn. And you're like, let's go. He's like, nope. And so his little claws are like digging in. Yeah. But other than that, that's all he's got.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy. He's like 14 pounds. It's just a little dude.
Yeah. When we first got Banner, we got him as a pup, 8 weeks. I don't know dogs. I don't know. Deborah grew up with a yellow lab. And, but when we got him, she started working on True Blood like a lot for like the next couple weeks. So he was my responsibility. Oh. And she would come home and I'd be tearing my hair out because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, Deborah. What am I doing? I made a mistake. Yeah. This was a mistake because she wanted the dog and I kind of gave into it. And I was like, gotta get a trainer. We gotta get a trainer like now. Yeah. And we got one probably that week.
And how did it work out?
Good.
Best
she investment. Was helping. Yeah. Good, very, very good investment. And it was nice to start training him so young because he's really mostly very well behaved now. There's just a few things. He likes to steal. Oh. He's a little thief. He likes to, it's out of attention. Yeah. He's like, you guys are not paying attention to me, so I'm going to grab a slipper.
Really?
Or a pillow.
And just like run and hide it?
He doesn't even do that. He kind of shows it off. If we're in the living room and he finds something in the bedroom, he'll bring it out and be like, look what I got. Come and get it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a little shit like
What kind of dog is he?
Yellow lab.
Oh, another yellow lab. That's great.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
That's
but
great.
He's big. Last weigh-in, he was over 80 pounds. Yeah. But he's gotta drop some weight. So we're giving him less food and less treats and stuff like that.
See, Charlie, when we got him, he was 13 pounds. He was really tiny. And he put on a little weight. We were like, oh, that's just, you're in a good home weight. And then it got a little bit too much. I think we took him to the vet and he was like up to 15 pounds or something in like a month.
It doesn't sound like much, but on a little dog,
it's a lot. So we, do good at like regulating his food, but we were out of the country. We went to Cuba and we couldn't take him. So we left him with these two ladies. They were awesome. Yeah. Charlie loved them.
Friends or
No, orders? We found them this thing called dogvacay.com. Another app. And they were awesome, and they had done a trial with him, and they were like, oh, Charlie's great. He can come and stay with us for the whole 9 days. We came to pick him back up. He looked like he had gained about 3 pounds. Like he was like big in the middle. We're like, oh, maybe we didn't leave explicit instructions about the feeding.
See, I would never leave. My dad has offered to take care of my dog, and I would never leave him with my dad. Because we did have a dog for a little while when I was a kid, and a couple cats. Yeah. And my dad doesn't know what to do with animals.
He's like, just give him the rib bone. He's fine. Yeah. Want some Doritos?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he'll do all that. We went over for a visit. My dad had a plate of steak and just put it down. I'm like, what are you doing?
He's like, it's a dog. It's meat.
Yeah. And my dad, he's a bit overweight himself, so he's, he probably shouldn't have raised dogs or children or any of that stuff. How are your parents growing up? Are they still together?
Yeah, they're still together.
How many
married
years now?
What? Oh, like 40. My dad says they've been married since the moment they met.
That's
so
romantic.
Yeah, sure. So it's 41 years.
Your mom's like, what are you talking about?
My mom is like, we've been together for 38 years. So yeah, they've been together for 41 years, married I think for 38.
38.
Yeah.
What they do work-wise when you were growing up?
My dad was a teacher, adult educator, and then my mom was a social worker.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
They retired?
Yes. Both.
Enjoying their retirement?
Oh my goodness. They just went to Cuba with us. They went to Paris with us when Luke Cage went to Paris. Like they travel.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice that you could travel with your parents like that too.
You know, they almost drove me crazy in Cuba.
Okay.
But
there it is.
for the most part, yes, it is great.
Yeah.
It's great. No, I love them. Doreen and I spend time with them as much as we can. So like when we're here, we like go over to their house every Sunday and just like play cards and sit around and drink. And
they're in Detroit?
No, they're here in LA.
Oh, they're here in LA too?
Yeah, they're in South Pasadena.
What made them move out here?
Me.
Oh, really?
and my brother and my nephew.
And you live in New York now?
Well, therein lies the rub, right? There's the big fight within my family. Because my dad's like, I want to move back to Detroit. My mom's, I will never go back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So
that's what's going to break them up.
Oh.
After 41 years.
After 41 years. No, it's a better way of life for them. You know, when people have arthritis, cold weather isn't the best. They're in a nice, warm climate.
My parents are doing winters in Florida now.
Smart.
Yeah.
Because it's just too rough. I mean, ice.
Yeah.
My mom, I think, slipped on the ice maybe 5 years ago before they moved. I was like, that's it. Get her out of there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She also broke her wrist ice skating, but that was completely voluntary.
Yeah, that's not weather related.
She was like, I'm 65. I'm going to take up ice skating.
Oh. Yeah. It was a nice thought.
Hey, I was proud of her.
New things when you're older.
Yeah.
You know?
So they are definitely enjoying the retired life out here in California.
How was Cuba?
It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to Cuba now.
Everyone should.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
What do you do there?
You explore the history of the city, of the country, if you can. You know, you explore Old Havana and Vedado and Miramar, which are all the neighborhoods. And you eat great food. It's funny because every couple of people that I would either run into or talk to or review, I would read, people are like, the food there is horrible. They don't have spices because they have been bereft of America's spices for so long. I was like, okay. And then I go and eat the most amazing food everywhere that we went. It was just amazing. But I had a friend who is a foodie who made a list. And so we just followed her list.
Oh, okay.
So every restaurant we ate in was amazing. But it's a culture where people are living a life every day. So it's Tuesday. People are out playing music in the street. People are dancing on the street. You know, it's great in that way to hear just a lot of great music. We went to jazz clubs and did a lot of cultural experiences in that way. We went and saw art museums, which was great. Their art is outstanding. And then we took some day trips. So we went to Vinales, which is where all of the tobacco, the good cigars come from. So we took a day trip.
Are you a smoker?
Not at all. It was my first smoke.
Did you try it?
First cigar. I did, because I said you cannot be in Cuba and not smoke a cigar.
Did you throw up?
No, I didn't, because you don't inhale, Bill Clinton. Hold it in your mouth.
Well, I did some too. I used to smoke cigarettes for like 15 years. And then in college, somebody had cigars and whatever. And I was like, let me give this a try. And I must have accidentally inhaled some of it.
Yeah.
I never felt so disgusting in my life. I didn't throw up, but I wanted to bad.
Yeah.
It just was so gross. I never touched one again.
Well, this is the trick. I don't know if I should tell you.
Go ahead. I'm never gonna do it.
You never know. If you're in Cuba,
maybe
you gotta.
I'll do the Simone Missick tour.
Yes. I'll write it out for you. But you dip the part that you put in your mouth in honey.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you just hold it in your mouth and blow it out.
And honey. Make it kind of sweeter and more tolerable, I guess.
Yeah. It was great. But I didn't finish it. I mean, I had
they're gigantic.
7 puffs. And then
that's even pretty good.
Yeah. Photo op.
Then you stink.
Yeah.
Then you stink.
Yeah.
Your grits in your hair.
Yeah. But you're out in the middle of the country because it's tobacco country. So you're out in the middle of like farmland and that was great.
So
We
it's probably
rode
just
horses.
beautiful, right? It's kind of
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Rode horses, went to this farm with this woman, press us out fresh sugarcane juice.
Oh, see, that sounds nice. I'll do some of that.
Outstanding. And then she had like a goat and a turkey and a kitten. And
Aw.
yeah, it was awesome. And then we did another day trip to the beach town, Veradero, Veradero.
Okay.
Went
If it was Verdad, I wouldn't know the
know.
difference.
I don't want to lie on it though. But you go and check out the beaches, which are gorgeous. And then we just, went around. Did a lot of like touring and talking and art procuring and everything. It was nice.
Did you and your husband have a honeymoon?
Yeah.
You got married? Where'd you guys go?
We went to Hawaii.
What
It was a baby moon, a mini moon, I'll say. We went to Maui, I think. The reason why I'm not 100% certain is because we've been to Hawaii a couple times.
That's okay.
Honolulu. So
Okay.
we went to Honolulu. This was a gift from his aunt. She gifted us.
Wow,
and
nice
we
aunt.
Yes.
Very
And we
nice.
had spent so much money on the wedding that we were like, yeah, let's just take this little mini vacation because our wedding was a destination wedding. So
Oh, where was it?
in the Bahamas.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Why?
So Dorian is Bahamian.
Okay.
His
So
yeah.
his family was there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
As was ours. We had a nice group. It was 100 people.
But like his family lives there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So how many of your relatives flew out?
there were more of our friends and family that were there from the United States than his family there.
Oh, no kidding.
So it was like 30 to 60. But family, I think it was about 20 family members for the both of us because, my sister got pregnant. She couldn't fly. His sister was pregnant. She couldn't fly. And
Thanks.
another sister couldn't make it. So one of our sisters was there. My brother was there. But he couldn't bring my nephews or, So we also had a no children at the wedding policy.
So that worked out fine.
Oh.
No pregnant women?
Not right.
Not even
No people who can't drink at the wedding.
Right.
So no, we had an amazing wedding. It was like a week's worth of just
Oh, wow. One
fun.
of those
Yeah.
long,
Yeah.
just have a good time.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was outstanding.
How long ago? The 2012.
5 years.
That's 5 years.
Yeah. Yep. 17. 5 years.
Well, so far, so good.
Hey, cannot complain. I can't. I would redo that day over and over again. It was so great.
Yeah.
We this was back when those sky lanterns were really popular.
Yeah.
So we gave everyone these sky lanterns and we're like, we're going to light them off and watch them float out in the air. Some people were so drunk by this point.
Oh,
They're
no.
like, I can't get my head off. You're like watching people potentially burn themselves.
Right.
You're like, no,
Hurt
just
themselves.
put it down.
There's an ambulance on standby.
Right. But then when you saw it, it was just like beautiful lanterns floating in the air. And then, we're really big on food. So we made sure the food and the drinks were great. But then when everybody's leaving, when they're good and drunk, we were like, and we're serving fried chicken in a bag with French fries and chocolate chip cookies with milk.
What? Well, like as
Go
a,
home.
as a,
As
as,
like
a, as a takeaway?
As like a sober yourselves up for the ride back to wherever you're going.
Oh my God, that
yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
I wish you brought some over right now. It'd be so
know, right?
nice. I don't need to
know.
be drunk to eat that stuff.
No, you can just eat it now. Yeah, it was great.
Is there anywhere you'd like to travel that you haven't?
Yeah, I haven't been a lot of places. I think the next trip I would love to take is Thailand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thailand.
My friend met his wife there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
That's
got married
great.
there. His first wedding was there. He got married twice. He got married here and there.
I was going to say to the same woman.
Just so yeah.
Okay, good.
Although technically he's been married 3 times to different women.
3 different women, but
Well,
he married the same woman twice.
Yeah.
Once in Thailand and once here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it's beautiful. Food, culture,
Yeah.
land, people. I'm not one of those people who likes to go and just like stay on a resort.
Yeah.
It's not really my.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm really.
You're like,
getting there.
and I'm good. I'm good right here.
Yeah. I'm like, this is pretty nice.
I mean, I love a good resort. If I'm
Yeah.
going somewhere for that purpose, I'm cool with that. Like
Yeah.
if we're going to
Yeah.
Miami or the Bahamas, like somewhere where we've been a million times,
Right.
give me the resort all day. But if it's somewhere I've never been, I want to go and explore.
I recommend Tahiti.
So that was the other one that was on the list. Is it really that amazing? Yeah.
We talk about it like every day.
Really? You're like, remember Tahiti?
We gotta go back.
Really?
Yeah, we loved it.
Did you stay? Where did you stay? Did you stay in like one of those beautiful?
Yeah, huts.
Yeah.
So Deborah did a Comic-Con in San Diego a few years back for True Blood.
Yeah.
And one of these things was like a free accommodations at 2 places in Tahiti. You just got to get there.
What? And
the stay's free for like 3 nights each.
Really?
And you just got to get there. So you just have to take a picture of something or whatever.
Yeah, and post.
Yeah. We didn't even do that.
Where are those people now?
So like I forget how long later, but we went on that trip.
Yeah.
And we stayed 3 nights in St. Regis and then 3 nights in this other place I can't remember because it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
It was still great.
I mean, but the St. Regis is like.
But the St. Regis in Bora Bora, Tahiti was unbelievable. I was so excited the whole time I was there.
Oh, nice. I can only imagine.
And we went back one other time,
Yeah.
same place, and we went for like 10 days.
Oh,
We're like,
wow.
Let's enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, we went for like 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
guys are warming me up to the idea.
But it's a great place to go if you don't want to do anything. And if you want to just go like swimming or, explore some of the other islands or something, you could do that. Snorkeling, we did snorkeling.
Yeah. Which I would love.
Yeah, you could do stuff like that. But it's super relaxing.
Okay, so I have a friend who went to Seychelles, which I want to go. It's like the archipelago islands that are sinking. They're going to disappear in a few years. They're so low to
Not
sea
because
level.
of climate change.
No. What?
No, there's no such thing.
That
It's Obama's
country
fault.
is just not a winner, okay? It doesn't want to be great.
Yeah.
It just wants to float away.
It's God's way.
Yes, exactly. So the islands are disappearing.
Oh, man.
And so I really want to go before it, floats away.
Can't go after.
No. So one of my stunt doubles from Luke Cage, her name is Janelle Stevens. She's amazing. She and her family went to Seychelles. She left after like 3. They were like, "It's too boring here." I was like, "What?"
Why? We nothing to do?
I guess it was just too pretty, too relaxing.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. We haven't had a chance to talk about it because she was out of the country and then she was off shooting a film. But
She was more active. She wanted to be more active.
I guess. It just blew my mind. It's like a 15, 17-hour flight, something like that.
Oh, yeah, those flights are brutal.
Yeah.
Those flights are brutal.
Yeah.
From Tahiti, from here, it's 8 hours.
Because we're on the West Coast.
But you gotta go to the main island, and then once you're there, you get a puddle jumper for I don't know, not long, but then when you get to Bora Bora, then you take a boat, and then you go around. So it takes a while.
Oh.
It can take a while.
Okay. What's the mosquito situation like there? Are they?
Oh, I don't remember.
They're pretty active?
Probably. I don't remember it being a real issue.
Okay.
We did have a mouse in our hut once.
Well.
That was interesting.
He was eating the spiders.
We were trying to sleep, and we hear...
No.
Yeah. In the wall. We're like, what the fuck?
No. My gosh. That would freak me out.
We had to change rooms.
I bet.
Yeah.
That would just completely freak me out.
Yeah.
But other than that,
St.
Regis.
It's so beautiful.
I'm going home and making a phone call.
Check it out. It's worth checking out, at least, if you can swing it. So when did you move to New York?
September 2015.
For Luke Cage?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you didn't want to do bicoastal?
Of course. Yeah and no.
Yeah, no.
Do
you have a place here?
No.
No.
So I'm an extremely cheap person.
Sure.
And I do
but
not
you won't like the St. Regis.
Well, if it's worth it.
It is worth it.
I just don't like the concept of wasting money.
Sure.
So the thought of keeping a place here and there, I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
That's what we're doing.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So originally, the place that we had stayed here, we've been here for 3 years, loved the house. We literally talk about that house like once a week. We're like, oh man, remember our house? But we were renting and our lease was up in
Yeah.
September of 2015. So it was right on time. The other thing is that the house is like near Culver City, and they're fracking.
Oh, you're fracking kidding me.
Fracking, not even fracking, messing around. And I would just wake up with like these nightmares of like, we're killing ourselves. We're going to get cancer. If we have a baby, it's going to come out with one eyeball. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And so I was ready to leave that house for like a year. As much as I loved it, I was just like, I can't. You know, we're supposed to be having kids, and what are we doing to ourselves?
Yeah.
So when the opportunity to move came, my husband's from New York. He was like, let's go.
Okay.
So we knew we were going to New York for 7 months for the show. And the plan was just to come back and chill for another 6 months until
season 2.
Defenders or season 2. Yeah. And so that's where we've been so far. But after this last cross-country move, because this last time we were like, oh, well, we can't rent a furnished place because I don't want to be on somebody else's furniture for 7 months.
Sure.
So we're bringing all of our stuff out. We're going to stay for a year.
Okay.
And after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So
It's pretty exhausting.
it is a lot.
That's a lot.
So the plan now is to come back here after season 2 and to just get a place and stay. And
Stay
then,
here.
yeah.
And then just rent when you go out there.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing. But our building won't allow us to sublet or any of that stuff. So when we're not there, it's empty. It's just empty.
Gosh.
But on the other hand, it's nice to have. I mean, it's expensive, but it's nice for an idea of like, well, if we want to go out there, we have a place to stay. Because I was doing Airbnbs and staying with her folks or my folks, and I didn't want any of that.
Yeah. It's not like, even when we would come here sometimes, we'll say, oh, okay, we'll stay at my parents for a few days. And then a day of like seeing my dad walking around in his gym shorts.
Yeah. Oh, like, he's got shorts. At least he's got shorts.
He's got shorts.
My dad would walk around in his underwear.
Thank
with tidy whities that are like 20 years old that are not tidy anymore.
No, thank
Or whitey anymore.
Or whitey.
They're not tidy or whitey anymore.
Droopy. Oh. Yeah. No, we don't have that. So, but it's close quarters and, you know, it's family, but it's still, my dad, I love him to death. But if I say I'm waking up at 9 a.m, it never fails. He'll come in my room at 8:45. Hey, you said you were going to wake up.
They can't turn it off.
Like, but I have an alarm. I have an alarm. Like, I know what time and it's him being helpful. But I can't do that.
Don't you love it when they're helpful?
Don't you just love it? They're like Honda people. They're helpful.
You mentioned kids. So you want to have kids?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you like? Okay. What kind of
kids you want?
What kind of kids?
Some cool ones. Well-rounded, preferably athletic.
Put a collar, the shock collar around them.
No.
What do you think? How do you think he'll be as a mom?
Oh, kind of overbearing.
Really, you think so? Like you just mentioned your dad like a little bit, and that sounds a little overbearing.
Which is why when people are like, "Do you want kids?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I know what's coming. You know what I mean? Like you're watching the swell of the wave.
Right.
You're like, "No, it's coming." Yeah, I think I'm the bad cop. I know Dorian will play the good cop. He's the fun guy. He is Uncle Dorian to my nephew. My nephew could care less about seeing me, my parents, his dad sometimes. Yeah. But if he gets to hang out with Uncle Dorian, all is right in the world. Dorian's cool. He becomes a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't really relate to kids like that. I'm like, hey, you old enough to, form a fully formed sentence yet? No? Okay, I'll come back in a few years.
I'll check in on you.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't play? You're not going to play?
Not really play. No. It's weird.
You could look. You have dolls.
I've been checking this out.
Misty Knight dolls and things like that.
Cool.
You can play with your kids. Be like, this is mommy.
No, I think if they came out of me, then I would learn to. Start from the beginning and grow. But I don't know. I'm not that. I don't know.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It can be fun.
It could. And I watch people who do it, and I'm amazed at it. And I'm like, that is so awesome. Not doing that. But if you want to come over here with me and we want to talk like politics or art, let's do that.
We should hang out and just the two of us be kids. And just play kid stuff.
It's just play.
And we'll have like finger paints. And a tea set with no real teeth. It's empty. There's nothing in it.
Make mud
like, pies.
Step in the
And we'll put on like costumes and stuff.
Yeah, and just go around.
Yeah.
You know what?
It'd be so fun.
You
are an actress.
Yeah, so I should be able to access it like
you're doing make believe all the time.
All the time, right?
What made you get into acting?
My sister, interestingly enough, did drama when she was in high school, and she's older than me. And so I just remembered her coming home and doing monologues and thinking, I want to do everything like my sister. So that seems like something fun to do. And I was always performing for my family and my friends, always like acting out or doing voices or imitating people or things and commercials. And so I just always knew I wanted to be an actor.
What's the age gap there, you and your sister?
8 years.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty
your
big.
Brother, your age
8
gap
as well. Yeah.
Oh, are they twins?
No.
Oh, they're Irish twins.
No, right. No, my dad is my sister's biological father, and my brother is my mother's biological son. So it's like the Brady Bunch, but without the other 4 kids.
Gotcha.
Right.
Something
right.
Like
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Oh, that's funny. They're both 8 years old. Okay, so you started doing like high school plays, things like that?
No.
Oh.
Isn't that funny, right?
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and looking at the drama team and saying, those guys are a bunch of lames. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be in the PA announcers team.
Yeah.
Because that's cooler.
That's cool, guys.
That's way too cool. So I did not do drama in high school. I played sports and music and...
Violin?
Yeah.
Played violin?
Mm-hmm.
Still play?
When...
You retain a little bit of it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've retained it, but every time I pick it up, I'm always like, oh, why did I put it down?
What sports did you play?
You said what?
What sports?
Basketball and track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty athletic.
Yeah. I mean, I've played every sport there is, but I stuck with those two because my parents were like, you can't do them all. So...
But you wanted to.
I did. It was funny that my dad always tells this story because he always says I try to put 26 hours into 24. So he always tells this story. It was freshman year of high school, and they had this thing. You go into the gymnasium, and there are all these tables with all these different activities. And you go in, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that activity. You sign up for that, and for that, and for that, and for that. And he said, I signed up for every single thing possible. He's like, you can't. Like, you know that these two sports are in the same season. And I was like, what? What's the big deal? I mean, I could do that and then that, right? And it's like, no, can't. You got to pick. So basketball and track were the ones I stuck with. But I played softball and tennis and golf. And
wow.
Yeah.
Do you still follow sports like on TV or any of that stuff?
I do not.
Yeah.
I refuse to follow sports, really.
Because?
I feel like they don't really care as much as we do.
That's true. Like, well, yeah, the players don't care as much.
They don't care as much as we do.
That's true.
I mean,
they're getting paid. Most of them, at least.
Yeah.
The people watching aren't getting paid anything.
And they are fighting each other in the.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
I mean, and because I can be a little obsessive. I was like, I gotta let this go.
Yeah,
but
I hear you.
I was a big sports fan for years, and then after a while, I just looked up and I was like, nope. My dad is very passionate about sports, and growing up, this was always the sound in the house. There would be jazz playing because he hates the announcers. They're all idiots. They don't know what they're talking about.
Sure.
So the TV is on mute.
Right.
And jazz is playing, which is supposed to be somewhat calming and relaxing.
Right.
And he's yelling at the top of his lungs, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking idiots. And I was like, I don't want to live that life.
Oh.
I don't want to be that person because when I watch sports, if I go to a game, I am right back in it, and I am that person again. Yeah.
I don't watch sports either because I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
And I think growing up for me, I didn't play sports, but I was so big
Everybody assumed you
Everybody
did.
assumed I did. It wanted me to. And then when I didn't and wasn't good at it, I got shit for it.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, fuck you guys. So
You will watch all this hype. Walk away. Yeah.
So I have a friend that's like superstitious. I came over one time to his apartment and he was watching a Patriots game by himself and he had all these like things said, like Patriots memorabilia surrounded him and stuff. And
It's like Silver Linings Playbook.
Right.
It's
And
like, put on the shirt.
Yeah, right. Well, kind of. I walk in, he goes, go in the kitchen. So he puts me in the kitchen. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do in here? He's like, just wait till the game's over.
What? No.
I guess they were winning or something. No. I was like, this is a little crazy.
So, and he's like, yeah, I know, but stay in there. See?
From method to my madness.
Right. Because if you don't stay in that kitchen, they're not going to win.
Yeah. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. It's just a little bit.
And I get obsessive about stuff too. I don't play video games because I used to and I was obsessive about it, so I don't do that anymore. But I still get obsessive about food. I'm obsessive. I eat too much. I get like a little food addict-y because my dad's overweight. My brother's over. I come from that stock. Yeah. So I have to really fight it. I'm trying to. And I used to smoke. And I hoard. I have like thousands and thousands of comic books. Yeah. Which you're gonna sign a few.
You're like, so I see my patterns.
Yeah.
You got to. You got to recognize them.
It's hard. It's hard to do that stuff. Yeah. Dorian, is he a sports guy?
He is, and he isn't, and that's why we're so great together.
Okay.
He is a part of a fantasy football league.
Oh wow!
Called the BYBO League.
Okay.
3 years running.
Has he won?
Never.
Okay.
Never. He is the toilet bowl winner 2 years in a row, I think. Like, he's the worst player. But he never comes in last.
Okay.
I will say that. Right. But they tease him.
That's funny.
They're like, you're the worst. He's like, I beat you last year. And they're like, you're the worst, though. But that is the only way that he stays current with football is because they have the, fantasy league. Football. He will watch basketball and he won't. He'll watch, take it and leave it. And I love that because I never come home and ESPN is on.
Right.
I never have to can you please? And he used to play video games, gave those up right before we met. It's like the best.
I'm getting that. I'm getting that.
That new
with
Nintendo.
Oh. No. With Deborah, she's obsessed about Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
In the last few years, she's like crazy obsessed about it. So I'll come home and she'll be on the couch for like 10 hours.
Really?
Like making maps and writing stories and things like that. She loves it.
Really?
And I'm trying to be supportive of it. And I'm a little like, oh my gosh, that's like a lot. Have you done anything?
She's like, no. Nope. Sure have it.
Okay.
That's amazing. Gotta be supportive.
I love you, sweetheart.
Gotta be supportive.
Anyway. So Dorian's an actor.
Yes.
What's he working on now?
He's on a show called Animal Kingdom, which is on TNT. Ellen Barkin.
Where does that shoot?
It shoots here in LA, but it also shoots in Oceanside near San Diego. So most of his storyline takes place down there. So you just hop on a train and go down to Beach Town.
Because has there been problems when he's shooting out here and you're shooting in New York? Has there been that
problems? Stuff? No, but it's our life. It's constant.
Mike Colter's got that a lot, right? He's had that really bad.
His wife, thank goodness, is always here.
Yeah.
And he will always have to be there versus me, where Dorian could be here, he could be in Atlanta, he could be in Vancouver, he could be, we both
all over.
Just flip a coin. So
that's hard.
Yeah, it can be, but
hard.
Usually it'll build in a nice little vacation for one of us.
Yeah.
We'll say, oh, I'll come and visit.
I'll come and visit.
For a day or two.
That's interesting. Because I guess after you have like a kid or something.
Now that's a
different
There's
story.
that thing, man.
There's that thing.
There's the thing. How does Kerry Washington do it?
Because she's amazing.
But, I mean, you know what I mean? I need to know. I need some tips. I need to know how this works.
You did an episode of Scandal, didn't you?
I did.
Did you ask her?
I did.
Did you think
she
of it?
was so sweet. I should have said, Kerry, tell me.
You studied acting in England,
Yeah, I did.
and you had a couple of really cool teachers.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley, Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Whew.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I was there for the summer, 3 months, following graduation.
When was this?
This was
Early 2000s?
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So they're already huge stars.
Yeah. And they came back and did these master classes.
Wow.
You're like, wow.
What were they like as teachers?
Amazing. And it's so interesting. You know, Alan Rickman having just passed. I have the worst memory, but his one thing just always stuck out with me. Where he really was just breaking it down in terms of the difference between American acting and English acting. The concept of you've really got a job to do. And I think that, you know, there are different schools of acting, obviously. And there's some people who are like, I have to live as the character for 6 months and don't talk to me and look me in the eye. And I'm wearing a wooden watch. And those people win Oscars.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then there are other people who are like, I have to live a life and I
Yeah.
can be in it. And then I have to go off and be a normal person.
They win Oscars too.
They do. Right? His concept was, I don't care if you really believe it or not. You've got a job to do. Like, the script says, cry here. You got to cry there. Nobody cares if you really believe it, if you really feel it, whatever you have to do to get there.
Yeah.
Just get there. And clearly I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But that always stuck with me. It was just because at the time, you know, I had taken theater in college, and that was really where I started to immerse myself. And then I did that program, which really helped. And then I moved back home and did a lot of theater, and then moved to LA, and that was kind of my journey. But you're still figuring out what works best for you.
Yeah.
And for years I would have, you know, teachers and gurus and books and things that I consulted that were like, you got to think about your dead grandma. And I'm like, but I didn't really know my grandma.
Yeah.
And my other grandma's still alive. So what do I do? They're like, well, think about the time that you were beaten.
Oh, geez.
Well, I didn't really get beaten. Does this mean I can't be an actor?
Your childhood was too good.
I know, right? And I would always think that. I would think, there's no way I'm going to ever be able to be an actor because I've never been beaten severely. But that one little thing just always kind of, you got to do your job.
You could be like, well, let's see.
And then you create the world in order for it to be believable.
I had a sister or brother that played pranks on me that made me cry.
See?
Something like that, maybe.
But that's not enough. if in this story you're supposed to be crying over your dead child,
Right.
and you're like, remember when they teased me? It's not a good substitution. So it helped. It was one of the things that. But yeah, I remember. I just have I have pictures from that time, and it was funny. You know, Deborah was on True Blood. And I went to this program with Nelson Ellis, who was also in True Blood, playing Lafayette.
Yeah.
And that was where he and I met, and he and Dorian are friends, and they've worked together. They just worked together on Elementary. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Did you get to hang out with Alan outside of class or any of that stuff? No, of course not. What about Ben Kingsley? What was he like?
I mean, again, I'm that person who the memory is so bad. But he was there.
Yeah.
I remember he was awesome. This was what?
But you took something from Alan.
Yeah.
Did you get anything from Ben?
That's what I'm
movie?
saying. I don't no.
He didn't really step up.
No. Don't say that. No. I think at that point it was just the experience of being like, I'm in the room with Ben Kingsley.
How cool
versus
Gandhi.
Yeah. Right?
Fucking Gandhi.
Yeah.
To me, he's really Gandhi.
You're like, I don't really know who that other Gandhi
The
was.
other guy is not as impressive to me. Okay, so you were in Wayward Pines, did a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Ray Donovan. Who'd you get to work with in Ray Donovan?
Liev.
You got to work with Liev.
Mm-hmm.
What was he like on set?
Most amazing actor I've ever met.
Yeah. That dude's pretty impressive.
And I say that because you hear things about people, actors. He's extremely accomplished.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. People credit him as being like the foremost Shakespearean actor of our time.
Some people think he's a jerk.
Right.
But like that old man.
Right. Shut your pie hole.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I was just, in Hollywood, I was a co-star. I had like 3 lines. And I, being the prepared, actor, came in and was like, I'm not messing this up. So I came in there ready to do what I had to do. And there was this moment where I don't even know if he knew it. Maybe there was something in his eye. But in my mind, he locked eyes and was like, oh, okay, she's ready to play. And that was it. And from that moment on, it wasn't like I was the co-star and he was the lead of the show and it was his name who was the title character. Yeah. It was like, we're actors and we're doing this together. And there was the director, this guy named Tucker Gates, who had worked with Dorian before on another show. He was really nice. But Liev was like, Simone, I think in this moment you would be doing this, right? I think the camera should be on Simone right here, don't you? Yeah, Tucker, the camera should... And there was this... I was like, yeah, Liev, yeah. The camera should be right here. What is happening? He was so giving.
Yeah.
And not at all just dialing it in. He could have very well said, send my stand-in, let them run the lines until it's my coverage.
Yeah.
Which people do. And he didn't. And not only was he there to play, we improv'd a bunch of stuff.
Oh, wow, that's
it was
cool.
Amazing. None of it made it into the episode.
Sure, but it's still fun.
They were like, toot. But
Step.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And that was a really big lesson, when people come in on Luke or anywhere, this is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
This is going on their resume or their reel or whatever. Give them the respect that they deserve.
They might talk about it on a podcast.
Right. You never want to leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's great.
He was awesome.
What about well, before I get to that, I met John Voight the other night.
Did you?
At Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did you? How was
after
he?
party. He was, I'm by myself at this party, and I usually just do like a lap, and if I see somebody great that I know, great. If I don't see anybody to talk to, then I basically leave. But so I'm like making my lap, and I have my cane and stuff because I'm legally blind and all that. And I think I started being touched, and I'm like, somebody's touching me, and it was John Voight.
Wow.
And he was like, "You all right, young man?" or something like that. I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I'm like, "Oh, John Voight." He's like, "Yeah."
Love
I was
it.
like, "Hi, can I? How are you? I love you on Ray Donovan.
Yeah,
You're great.
Yeah.
Would it be a trouble to get a picture with you?" He's like, "No, that's fine." And
I hear he's amazing.
He's a quick picture. Now, politically, we're very different.
You're at odds.
We're at odds.
You were at odds.
But in those 60 seconds, he was great.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard some horrible stories about him, but I've heard some great ones too.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you have to separate.
I know.
I'm glad you had a good experience.
I had a
with
good
him,
experience. I didn't outlast my welcome or anything. And I didn't get to the point where I'm like, he fucking said this. I can't believe it. What a wacko. On Scandal, who'd you work with on Scandal? Did you get to work with Kerry? That's cool.
Yeah, and
She's
it was
awesome.
So it's so interesting how everything just happened. I was I was auditioning for Confirmation, which was her
Oh yeah, I saw that
project for HBO, the Anita Hill story.
Sorry, yeah.
And I get a phone call, and I think it was my manager or my agent, I forget. They were like, yeah, so they want to know if you can come in and do the table read for Confirmation. And I was like, do I have the job?
Yeah.
And they're like, they're still trying to figure it out, but they want to know if you can come in. It's like, okay, that's weird. But it's an opportunity to be in a room.
Sure.
Go in the room, do the table read, and there's Kerry and everybody who's in the film is in the room. Rick Fumiyama, who's the director, everybody's in there who did Dope.
Yeah.
All these amazing people. And so afterwards, I'm like packing up my stuff and walking out, and this is such a sad and yet great story. So Kerry comes up to me. Now, during the table read, the woman who booked the role that I auditioned for is sitting right across from me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, She totally looks like this woman.
Oh, wow.
Good for her.
Right.
So Kerry comes up to me, I'm leaving, and she's like grabbing some food from the little table. It's like, hey, I just wanted to say congratulations and, the best on the whole shoot. She goes, oh my goodness. I just have to tell you, you did an amazing job in your audition. And, people don't get jobs for a million reasons.
Oh.
But I just want you to know that it was nothing in your control. You were just lovely. You were amazing. You were outstanding. It's like, thank you so much, Kerry Washington. That was absolutely not necessary. And then I walk out the door and bawl like a baby.
Oh.
I didn't get the job.
Is that how you found out you didn't get the job?
Right. And the woman who sat across from me, who clearly had the job.
Oh, no.
But it was unnecessary on her part to do that. And then I booked Scandal. It was another small co-star. And I'm in the trailer. And she comes in, she goes, I know you. What are you doing here? And I was
gave you bad news.
And a huge compliment.
And a huge compliment.
She was so sweet. She was super sweet. And an amazing professional.
Yeah.
Lovely to watch do what she does because she takes it seriously. And yet she's still happy in her and beautiful and lovely. And yet she drops in and you're like, and they died right in front of you and you believe it. She's great.
And she hosted SNL and she was awesome. Did you see
I
that?
didn't see it.
A couple years ago.
Oh, wait. Maybe I did. I think I did.
She was so good.
Yeah.
She could do it all.
She can.
She could do it all. And so, all right. So when you got Luke Cage, what was that? Just did you audition with a million people? How'd that work out?
That was a audition of one in my living room.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
put myself
film.
on tape.
Oh, okay.
Self-tape. And had no confidence at all in anything happening. One, I had no idea what it was because you have to sign an NDA and they don't tell you.
And are the sides not even part of the show, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Dummy sides. So I was like, whatever.
It's like from Gone with the Wind or something.
It was like a scene in a coffee shop where Missy is a waitress undercover.
Hey, wait a minute. This is the Royale with cheese scene from Pulp Fiction. I know this.
That's such a Cheo thing, too. So we did that, and I put myself on tape, and I was just like, whatever. I had heard through the grapevine that whatever this project was, they already knew who they wanted for it. And you hear that often. Mm-hmm. They already have who they want. They're working out the contracts. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They're working out the contracts, but they're gonna make everybody go through the ringer.
They need a backup plan.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've never heard that changed anything prior to this. So I put myself on tape, and my manager calls me up afterwards, and she's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing. You look amazing. That was amazing. I'm gonna send it over." And I was like, "Okay." Whatever.
Do you get kind of like? Do you get cynical about
at that point,
when people say things like, "Oh, that's amazing" and everything? Because you never hear anything.
Well, what was funny was that was the first time she had ever done that, and we'd been together for 4 years.
Oh.
And that was the first time she ever called me up and said that was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So I was like, we've reached a new level in our relationship. Good for that. Like I'm appreciating the little things at that point.
Sure. That's funny.
So then maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, she calls me up. She's like, they want you to go in and meet with producers. And I'm going to find out what they want you to wear. And, they want blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. Poor Stephanie. Like I'm still just shaking my head at the situation because I'm thinking, they already have this actress.
Yeah. And they're like, do you have a mechanical arm?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, in my back seat. Carried around with me. And so she was super excited and I was like, yeah, I don't really. But then the closer we're getting to it, the more it's like traveling through the grapevine of people where it's
attraction.
Like, where it's like, oh no, they might not be going with that actress. And they're looking for an unknown. I'm like, well, if they want somebody who's unknown, sign me up.
Do you know who the actress was?
No.
No. Okay.
And so they, we're getting closer to the date of this meeting. And again, I'm just kind of like, whatever. So I'm rehearsing this play. And we have opening weekend on Friday. And I get the worst cold ever.
Oh, my God.
By Sunday's second performance, I thought I was going to lose my voice. Put myself on vocal rest for all Monday before the Monday performance. And then Tuesday was this meeting. So I was supposed to go in at I think 9:30 or something. And there's a thing in actors' minds where you're like, oh, if you're going in early. Or, oh, if you're going in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, depending on the time, you're like, oh, that's never going to work out.
There's only a sweet spot.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot. And if you're not in there, they're not serious about you.
Yeah.
So I think I was supposed to go in at 9:30. And I called up my manager. I was like, I don't know if I will be able to talk. Wow. Can we maybe push it back a few hours? And she's like, let me call over and see. So she calls me back. She's like, yeah, so they're only seeing a couple people. So they can only move it back a half hour. And I'm like, only seeing a couple people. That's interesting.
That means you have a shot.
No.
Let
me just dope up on this Dayquil and not worry about the details.
Right.
I was like, I don't want to think about it.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I literally loaded up on Dayquil and wellness formula and echinacea tablets and all this stuff. And
it's a good combo.
Like, oh my gosh, I was so high out of my mind. And I go in, and Lorraine Mayfield is the casting director, and her associate comes out, and she's like, "Hey, Simone, how you doing?" It's like, "Good." She's like, "You ready?" I said, "I need to go to the bathroom." Okay, cool. Go to the bathroom. Blow my nose for 5 minutes. Just try to get as much of it out. And I just said a prayer. I was like, God, just please don't let my nose run while I'm in the room. That's all I need. Just 10 minutes. So I go in. Just the sweet spot, right? So I go in the room, and Lorraine is there, and she's super warm. It's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And she's Southern. She's from Louisiana. She's got that down home kind of feel to her. And Jeff Loeb's in the room, and Cheo's in the room, and Charles Murray, who's our one of the executive producers on the show, is in the room, and I believe Tom Lieber was in the room from Marvel. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. And Lorraine's like, "You ready?" "Yep." "Got any questions?" "Nope." Because I'm high. So we do the first scene.
That's hilarious.
And Jeff is like, "All right. Can you do it like this?" "Mm-hmm." So I do the scene. He's like, "Okay, let's go on to the next one." "Cool." There are no nerves. Normally there's a little bit of nerves. None at all. The Dramamine, acid, all of it.
Acetaminophen?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. All of that have deadened my nerves. And so then we go do the second scene. They're like, "Okay, can you do it this way?" "Yep." "You do it the second way?" "All right, cool." And they're like, "Do you have any questions?" "Nope." "You guys?" "We're good." "All right, bye." I leave.
You have any munchies?
Right. "You guys got some food?" And I leave. And that was it. And found out a week and a half later that I booked it.
Did you know that it was, I guess you knew it was Luke Cage going into that audition, right? You didn't even know that?
I think I knew that it was something for Marvel.
Because Jeff Loeb's there.
Yeah, but I had never seen Jeff before. That's a different circle. Yeah. I might have known by that point.
Maybe they told you while you were high.
Maybe. Right. He definitely told me when Jeff called and made the phone call to say, "Welcome to Marvel."
Wow.
Yeah, that was epic. I will never forget that.
How much time elapsed from
I think
the audition?
a week and a half.
A week and a half. Are you trying not to think about it?
So I was, and I was super busy at the time, auditioning for a bunch of other stuff. And I went in for a movie, and I come out, and my agent has called me. And I'm like, "Oh my God. He's calling me. This is it?"
Yeah.
And so I call him back, and he's like, "Hey." I was like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" He's very casual in that way.
Yeah.
I was like, "I just left out of the audition for blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Okay." I'm just calling, checking you. I was like, what? He's like, oh, you thought I was calling about that Luke Cage? You ain't gonna find out about that for like another 2 weeks. Like, he literally said that to me. He was like, I'm not calling for that. I was like, get the fuck off my phone then. I don't want to talk. I want to know about the show or nothing.
Yeah.
He was just calling to check up.
That's fine.
So he said I wouldn't hear about it for another 2 weeks, and I ended up finding out like maybe 3 days after that. So it was a week and a half.
Wow.
And yeah, it's great.
Wow, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So were you flipping out? Were you like, oh, cool? And then when you find out it's in New York, you're like, oh, shit.
Yep.
I gotta move?
All of that. And they were,
What does that
and
mean?
and they love him to death. We're like, yeah, so can you get here next week?
Yeah, that sounds right.
It wasn't. So, we're going to start. They were like, can you come tomorrow? And I
Yeah.
was like, guys, I've got a house to pack up and a life to move and a place to find. And so it was.
Not our problem.
They were sweet about it. They gave me, I think, an extra week. They were
that's
like,
cool.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they gave me an extra week and gave me, some help figuring out nothing. They didn't.
That stuff gets really tricky. Deborah had like, at the last day of True Blood,
Mm-hmm.
she finished one day, she had the next day to pack, and was on a plane the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Boom.
That is insane.
And that's what she did.
Oh.
And it got so tight, she had to ask her brother and his girlfriend to fly out here to drive Banner cross country
Oh
in
my
our
goodness.
car.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And I flew out. Yeah.
Oh, see?
Because I would drive.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Pretty crazy.
That is super crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Oh.
But you're part of the Marvel Universe now.
Yeah, now you just gotta. They pay you so
Yeah.
you can get on a plane now. At the time, I didn't have that money though. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, what are we gonna do?
Nickels are up together.
Yeah.
So after that, are you starting to read Luke Cage issues and stuff?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Have you done it yet?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. I don't want to be influenced.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's such a huge canon. Like
Yeah,
this
there's.
comic book has been around for 40 years.
Yeah. 70s.
Yeah. So you say you drop in the 70s, you'd be like, what? And then you go back in the 90s, you're like, oh. And then you go back in the 2000s, you're like, huh? I'll wait.
It's all the emotions.
Right. All of them wrapped in one.
That's cool. Yeah, I have a few things that you're going to be kind enough to sign for me. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
How do you like that though? Technically it's the character, but you are the character now. Like there's never
Yeah.
been anybody
Misty Knight.
playing Misty Knight before.
Yeah.
You're the first.
It's pretty
So you're
outstanding.
You're people's Misty Knight.
Yeah. You never think of it. You never think that something like that will happen. And
Yeah.
so when it does, you're like, oh, this
Pretty
is
neat.
pretty great. Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
When you did you like working with Mike? He was a good guy.
Ah.
He did my podcast.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's okay.
He's
You
all
know,
right. He's
as leads of shows go. No, he's
kind
awesome.
of decent looking.
Right. Oh, I mean that. Who cares about that? No, I care about if you're going to be a jerk when we work
Yeah.
together. He's not a jerk,
That's
which is
good.
great.
That's good.
Everybody in that cast was so nice
Yeah.
and so fun, and it was really like a family.
He did a lot with Frank Whaley, who I've seen forever. He's been around forever,
I
Frank
know.
Whaley.
And you would think this guy might come in and have his own kind of.
Right. Right.
Not at all.
That's good.
I mean, we had so much fun just trying to create this relationship and make it believable. And I really love that guy. Like, he's
Yeah.
great. He's great. Got a great family. It tells the best stories. He's one
Really?
of the funniest people.
Oh, I gotta get him on here.
You have to get him on. He
gotta
is
get him on here.
hilarious.
Vouch for me, would you?
I will.
Okay, please do.
I will. He's hilarious. He's so great.
I'd love to get him on here. That'd be fun. I was rewatching some of the episodes. I was at the Luke Cage premiere.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw. Was I at the? Wait, maybe I wasn't at the premiere. I was at Jessica Jones premiere. I'm confusing because Luke Cage was in.
Yeah.
So you had a makeout scene with Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
pretty massive one. It was like, for a Marvel show, as like a Marvel watcher, I'm like, whoa, they're really pushing an envelope. I thought, no,
More than Jessica?
well, they're maybe a little more than Jessica.
They were breaking headboards. Come on.
That's just because they're super strong.
Well,
is that uncomfortable? Because you're just starting to work with this guy, and then
right. That was like day 3 too. It wasn't uncomfortable though.
Really? That's
because, thank goodness, maybe that was what Ben Kingsley taught me.
About sex scenes?
Right. No, it's so technical.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know. When I'm Misty,
but even
I'm
that
not.
can make it more uncomfortable when it's so technical.
When I'm Misty, I'm not Simone. Okay. So that's the good thing.
Okay.
So I'm not thinking like, oh my God, this is me. And Mike knows my husband. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
that's
cool.
Funny.
They did a play together.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Back on Broadway.
Wow.
So they've known each other for years, hung out together for years. So it wasn't any of that, like in that weird way. Like, oh my God, this is my husband's friend.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it was, this is just Misty making out with Luke.
Yeah.
But then there are the technical aspects that are like, make sure you tilt your head here and put your arm there and don't drop that and put that there. And
right.
So, and there were only 3 people in the room.
Oh, okay.
Which was awesome.
Close set.
So there was no feeling of, and then the grip has to, put his, so it was easier, I will say.
That's good.
Than I've heard a lot of people's experiences to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I had to do something like that. I don't know. I'd be so uncomfortable. I've had to watch Deborah do a bunch of those.
Well,
and that's uncomfortable.
True Blood.
Yeah.
It's quite a show.
It sure is. It is quite a show indeed. So are you still doing auditions and stuff for things?
Yeah.
Because you just did Defenders, which you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So you stayed some time you live in New York, so you're in New York. I guess I'm not going to even ask you anything about that because I'm sure you can't say anything about it. Nothing. But you are in it in some capacity.
Some capacity.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be really good.
Me
and then you'll do Luke Cage 2.
Yes.
Which they're writing right now.
That's what I've heard.
Do you know when it starts shooting?
No idea.
No idea, but you'll be in New York anyway. Well, that's hard. Isn't that tricky, like to go, okay, should I audition for things? Because if I get something and there could be a problem, and then there's just juggling, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really worry about that.
You don't worry. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I figure...
You're too high.
No, exactly. I figure if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it'll all work out the way it's supposed to. But that's nice. I don't...
It's a nice outlook.
You gotta have it, or else you drive it. I mean, that's not how my husband is. He's like, oh, what's going to happen? And then what's going to happen? I'm like, I can't do that right there. There can only be one of us with that outlook. So I'm just going to be positive over here.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And so far, everything has worked out. I mean, look at it. We wrapped on Defenders. Mm-hmm. Come here and do a play.
That's nice.
Wrap, you know what I mean?
Your last day is the May 7th for your play? Is that what you said?
May 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deb and I are going to go.
Yay.
For sure. Your last name's Cook.
Maiden name.
Your maiden name's Cook.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so his name's Missick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine too.
I didn't. I didn't put that together for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Was it a big deal to change your name? Is that weird, changing your name? Did you think about keeping your,
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm a traditionalist in that way.
Really?
Yeah. My mom took my dad's name. Grandma took her husband's name.
They weren't actresses, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, at that point, nobody really knew Simone Cook. I wasn't losing anything. It's not like they were like, where did she go? It was fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Your husband dropped you off here.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. He's coming to get me, too.
Where'd he go?
Oh, he went to go get a haircut.
With the dog?
Yeah. They allow dogs in his barbershop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have treats and everything.
All right. Well, do you know how much time Do you know what time he's coming?
Yeah, around now.
Around now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had a blast talking with you.
I did too. This was so great.
I'm glad I ran into you at Joe Casada's holiday party.
Epic.
I know. I went last year. It's epic.
That house.
It's beautiful.
That deserves its own podcast.
It should. I should do one from there.
Right. Live from Joe Casada's house.
And his office. I love his little office.
Oh, my God.
It's a really beautiful place.
Yeah.
Would you like to plug anything? Do you have an Instagram or a Twitter or anything like that you'd like to plug?
Simone Missick on all fronts. Twitter, Instagram. SimoneMissick.
Go follow her on all that.
Simone Missick.
And this will come out. This might come out after your play.
Oh, cool.
So, but if it doesn't, go see her May 7th. By May 7th. Hurry.
Run.
Run.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And scene. Well, there you go, folks. That was my talk with Simone Missick. Thank you so much, Simone, for coming in here and talking with me. It was a lot of fun. I hope you had fun too. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Once again, go check her out in Luke Cage and check out all those Marvel shows. You'll be glad you did. And so one more time for my social media stuff, at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast on Twitter, EJ Scott 1106 on Instagram, crowdrise.com/7on7 for the charities, ejscott.com is my website, and Running Blind documentary. It's called Running Blind, and it's a documentary on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. And subscribe to my podcast on iHeartRadio and iTunes. And check out my past podcasts and my future ones. You'll be glad you did. Thanks so much for listening.